panic alert. FEMA just issued a warning that could change how you shop because a major food shortage may hit sooner than you think. If you don't have these 9 must-have items ready, you could be standing in an empty aisle when it's already too late. Picture this. It's midnight. The grocery shelves, stripped bare, no bread, no canned goods, nothing. This isn't a movie scene, it's exactly the kind of crisis FEMA's latest recommendations are trying to help us avoid. In today's video, we're breaking down the 9 critical must-have items you need to stock right now for food shortage preparedness in 2025. These aren't random guesses, this list comes straight from FEMA guidelines and survival experts. Stick with me because in the next few minutes, you'll know exactly what to keep in your home so you're not caught hungry, panicked, and unprepared when supplies vanish. Item 1. Non-perishable, ready-to-eat food. This isn't just about stocking a pantry, it's about avoiding the kind of disaster that catches most people off guard. Right now in 2025, food at home prices are climbing by roughly 2.2%, and certain staples are skyrocketing. Beef is up more than 10% compared to last year, and eggs remain painfully high, 27% more expensive than in mid-2024, even after a brief dip. These numbers aren't abstract, they're a warning. FEMA's guidance to keep canned meats, beans, vegetables, and soups on hand isn't just practical, it's survival math. Last year, prices crept up more slowly. Today, you're paying noticeably more for the same staples, and while canned foods haven't yet vanished from shelves, viral social media trends have proven how fast an item can disappear overnight. One viral recipe or panic buying wave and the aisle you rely on could be stripped bare in hours. If you wait until scarcity sets in, you'll either pay double or go without. Having a stock of ready-to-eat foods means you're not dependent on a working fridge or daily grocery runs. These pantry heroes have a long shelf life, they require no cooking if power is out, and they give you the peace of mind that no matter what happens outside, supply chain disruptions, inflation spikes, or panic buying, you and your family can eat. This is your safety net. Check your shelves today. If your stock of non-perishables is thin, start filling that gap immediately. Buy a mix: protein-rich canned meats, nutrient-dense beans, vitamin-packed vegetables, and hearty soups. Don't think of it as extra groceries. Think of it as buying time, security, and control when the rest of the world is scrambling. Because the moment scarcity hits, it's too late to prepare. You either have what you need or you don't. And that choice is being made right now while you still can. Item 2. High energy snacks first. Here's something that might shock you. Nearly 50% of U.S. consumers bought cereal or energy bars in the past year, more than the global average of 37%. That's how hungry people are for quick energy. These aren't just lunchbox fillers, they're vital fuel when every minute counts. In the last year, the snack bar category pulled in over $10 billion in sales, even growing by almost 2%. That steady rise shows one thing: people aren't just snacking, they're stocking up. So why does this matter to you? Because these high-energy snacks, granola bars, protein bars, nuts, trail mix, are what I call emergency candy. They don't crash your energy, they keep you powered. Here's something personal. You'll hit the pantry, your legs feel heavy, your mind foggy. That's when you need fast calories, not fast food. A bar or trail mix that's calorie-rich, packed with protein or healthy fats, and shelf-stable can be a literal lifesaver. No cooking required, no waiting for power to come back. Gut punch, fresh food prices soar, but energy-dense snacks cost less per calorie and last longer. But when fear hits and people rush the stores, even these can vanish fast. That sense of scarcity is real. You're not just prepping, you're protecting your calm, your strength, your control. You need these snacks on your shelf today. Don't wait for the panic. You won't be counting steps to the blackout kitchen. You'll have everything ready in your hand. Next up, we'll cover why peanut butter and other staples double as both comfort and survival gear. Stay sharp. Item 3. Peanut butter and ready staples. You're stocking food now. Waiting only makes panic cheaper, but worth nothing when it matters. Peanut butter, cereal, powdered milk, these are not just pantry fillers, they're lifelines. FEMA calls these staples must-haves. They ask you to keep them in your emergency stockpile. High-calorie, long-lasting, and easy to eat. They don't need a fridge, they don't need power, they can carry you through. Right now, powdered milk in boxed form should be rotated every 6 months. That's the official shelf life FEMA recommends. Powdered milk in nitrogen-packed cans lasts even longer. Peanut butter and ready-to-eat cereals can sit safely for about a year before you need to replace them. That's not fluff, that's real data. That's your fallback when fresh items disappear. Those viral shortages you've seen on social media, they happen fast. One trending TikTok or viral grocery challenge can leave your store shelves empty in hours. While others panic buy fresh goods, your stash is untouched. Shelf-stable staples won't vanish, You won't need to drive across town to find cereal. You'll have access, you'll stay calm. You see the difference between being prepared and being desperate. You'll face fewer choices when food gets scarce. You'll eat. Others may bargain. You'll be steady. 1 spoon of peanut butter gives you healthy fat, protein, and calories. Cereal gives you carbs. Milk powder gives you essential nutrients, all without refrigeration. You need to act now. Walk into that pantry. Look, if any of those staples, peanut butter, instant cereal, powdered milk, are missing or low, you've got work to do. Grab them next time you shop, even if everyone else feels safe, even if the supply chain seems fine. Item 4, comfort and stress foods. Stress changes everything. In a crisis, food isn't just fuel, it's a mental anchor. FEMA's emergency supply advice might focus on calories and nutrition first, but they also acknowledge something people forget: your morale. Comfort foods, cookies, hard candy, instant coffee, tea, aren't a luxury in an emergency. They're a tool to keep spirits stable when everything else feels shaky. Here's why it matters. After major disasters, studies show people are more likely to choose familiar and indulgent foods, even when healthier options are available. Psychologists call it stress eating, but in a survival situation, that little boost of normalcy can keep you functioning. A warm cup of coffee when the power's been out for days isn't just caffeine, it's a reminder of routine, of control. A piece of hard candy can quiet a child's tears faster than reason ever could. These foods also have another advantage: long shelf life. Properly stored instant coffee or tea can last years. Hard candy stays good almost indefinitely if kept dry. Cookies, if sealed, can hold for months, and vacuum packing can extend that even further. That means you can stock them now without worrying about constant rotation. During the 2021 Texas freeze, coffee sales in certain areas spiked more than 30% in a single week. That wasn't because people suddenly drank more, it was because they feared running out. That's how quickly comfort turns into scarcity in a crisis. When you're building your emergency stash, don't just think about hunger. Think about the moment when exhaustion sets in, when everyone's nerves are frayed, and you need something small that says, "We're okay." That's what comfort food does. It buys a little peace in the middle of chaos, and when shelves are empty, you'll be glad you stocked it before you needed it. Item 5, manual can opener plus disposable utensils. You have soups and beans, you have canned everything, but you're stuck without a way to open or eat them. That's nightmare territory. The real shock: FEMA and other official checklists bang this point home. They all list a manual can opener and disposable utensils as critical. Without those, your canned food is useless. Think about that. You stock up, you feel safe until the lights go out, the stores are gone, you reach for your can of beans, and you realize you can't open it. Panic hits. That's why you need a reliable, human-powered opener, one you can count on when nothing else works. No batteries, no electricity, disposable plates, cups, forks, those are just as vital. NYC's emergency guidelines explicitly recommend these for meal prep when power is gone. Clean eating becomes nearly impossible without them. No running water, no dishwasher. You want tools that make eating possible and safe. Here's something that might surprise you. Even after major disasters, many well-stocked homes fail because they overlook the little things. Tools matter as much as the food. FEMA's Emergency Food and Water PDF even calls them out. Make sure you have a manual can opener and disposable utensils. No fluff, just cold, hard truth. You need this and you need it now. It's not a nice to have, it's the difference between eating calmly or starving in frustration. Grab a sturdy opener, toss in a pack of disposable cutlery, keep them with your emergency food stash. Check them every time you restock. When the world freezes or crazes for emergency pasta, you'll be ready. While others scramble, you'll be eating. That's control. That's preparedness at its simplest. Item 6, water supply. You can skip food for days, but water, 3 days without it and you're in real trouble. Here's a fact that should make you stop scrolling. FEMA says you need at least 1 gallon of water per person per day, and that's just for drinking and minimal hygiene. In 2025, with hotter summers and unpredictable storms, the risk of water service disruptions is higher than ever. According to the EPA, over 2,000 U.S. water systems reported service interruptions or contamination warnings in the past year alone. That's not fear-mongering. That's data. Think about it. 1 gallon per day sounds fine until you multiply. A family of 4, that's 28 gallons for a single week. And if you plan for 2 weeks, that's 56 gallons. That's not a couple of bottles from the store. That's serious storage planning. Yet, time and again, surveys after hurricanes and blackouts show that most households have less than 2 days' worth of water on hand. The reality is, in a crisis, water becomes gold. Stores sell out in hours, delivery trucks don't run, and if the tap runs brown, like it did in Jackson, Mississippi or parts of Flint, you're left with nothing safe to drink. It's not just about thirst either. Cooking, cleaning wounds, brushing your teeth, all of it requires water. FEMA recommends storing factory-sealed bottled water in a cool, dark place and replacing it every 6 to 12 months. But there's a smarter prep. Invest in large, food-grade water containers or jugs and a reliable water purification method. That could be tablets, filters, or even a gravity-fed system. If you live in an apartment, stack sealed cases in closets or under beds. Space isn't an excuse. Creativity is part of survival. And here's the kicker. Dehydration doesn't just weaken your body, it clouds your mind. Your decision-making slows, your energy drops. In an emergency, that mental fog could cost you dearly. A steady supply of clean water keeps you sharp and in control. So don't wait for the next weather alert or social media panic to start stockpiling. Build your water reserve now. Whether it's for a storm, a grid failure, or a supply chain crash, having enough water on hand turns fear into calm, and calm is exactly what you'll need when chaos hits. Item 7. Vitamin and nutritional supplements. When fresh food is gone, vitamins can keep your body running like nothing else can. Here's the uncomfortable truth. During a food shortage, you might have calories but not nutrients. FEMA focuses on survival basics, but health experts warn that long-term emergencies can cause dangerous vitamin deficiencies. The CDC reports that even in normal times, 10% of Americans are vitamin deficient, especially in vitamin D and iron. Now, imagine what happens when fresh produce, dairy, and meat disappear from your plate for weeks. Your body needs more than energy. It needs the building blocks to keep your immune system strong, your brain sharp, and your muscles functioning. Without enough vitamin C, you risk weakened immunity. Without vitamin D and calcium, bone strength drops. Without B vitamins, energy levels crash. And in a crisis, you can't afford to feel weak, dizzy, or unfocused. Supplements aren't a nice extra for preppers. They're insurance. Multivitamins are small, lightweight, and have a long shelf life. You can store a year's supply in the space of a shoebox. And here's the surprising part. According to the NIH, certain supplements like vitamin C, zinc, and probiotics can actually shorten the duration of common illnesses and speed recovery, critical in times when medical care may be delayed or unavailable. Don't overlook powdered greens or protein powders either. When meat or vegetables aren't an option, they help fill in nutritional gaps. A single scoop can provide the equivalent of several servings of vegetables plus protein to keep you feeling full. The key is planning now. Buy what you and your family actually use and tolerate well. Switching brands or forms during a crisis can cause stomach issues. Store them in a cool, dry place while away from sunlight. Check expiration dates once a year and rotate stock. In a long-term emergency, vitamins can mean the difference between simply surviving and staying healthy enough to function. They protect your energy, your immune defenses, and even your mood, because nutritional deficiencies can trigger depression and anxiety. When shelves are bare and fresh food is a memory, you'll be thankful for every small capsule or scoop of powder you put away today. This isn't about luxury. It's about keeping your body in fighting shape when the world outside feels like it's falling apart. Item 8. Special diet, allergy, infant-specific supplies. In an emergency, you can't improvise your child's formula or your own allergy-safe food. This one is often overlooked until it's too late. You can store canned goods, snacks, and water, but if you or someone in your family has dietary restrictions, allergies, or an infant to feed, you need specialized supplies. And you need them now, before scarcity turns into desperation. According to the CDC, over 32 million Americans have food allergies. That's 1 in 10 adults and 1 in 13 children. Add in the millions with gluten intolerance, lactose intolerance, or chronic health conditions requiring specific nutrition, and you quickly see how vulnerable this group is in a crisis. During supply chain disruptions, specialized foods are often the first to vanish and the hardest to replace. Infant formula is an even more fragile supply. In 22, a nationwide shortage left 43% of formula products out of stock at the peak. Shelves were bare for months in some areas. That crisis happened during normal times. Imagine what could happen during a widespread disaster or extended food shortage. Babies can't wait for shipments to arrive. There is no substitute that provides the same safety and nutrition. If you or your family depend on allergy-safe staples like gluten-free flour, dairy-free milk, nut-free snacks, or low-sodium options, stock at least 2 to 4 weeks worth. For infants, FEMA and pediatric experts recommend having a minimum of 2 weeks supply of formula, ideally more, plus bottled water for mixing if needed. Remember, during an emergency, substitutions may not exist. You can't just make do with regular bread if you have celiac disease, or give a baby cow's milk without risking severe health consequences. This is about more than just survival. It's about keeping the people you love safe from harm that could be avoided with a little preparation. Label and separate these supplies from the rest of your stockpile so you can grab them quickly. Rotate regularly so nothing expires. If you have pets, the same rule applies. Special diets for animals should be part of your emergency kit. In a crisis, you won't want to choose between your own safety and theirs. When others are scrambling for whatever they can find, you'll have exactly what you need. That kind of foresight doesn't just keep people fed, it keeps them alive, healthy, and out of danger when help may be days or weeks away. Item 9. Portable cooking basics. When the power goes out, the kitchen becomes a dead zone. Your microwave is silent, your electric stove is useless, even your coffee maker sits there like a decoration. That's when portable cooking basics turn from a camping luxury into a survival necessity. FEMA's Preparedness guidelines and Ready.gov both emphasize having an alternative way to cook when utilities fail. Without it, you're stuck eating cold food, or worse, wasting precious supplies because you can't prepare them. Think about the storms, wildfires, and grid failures in just the past few years. In Texas, the 2021 winter blackout left over 4 million homes without power, some for more than a week. In that time, people didn't just lose heat, they lost the ability to cook. Grocery store shelves emptied fast, but even those with stocked pantries struggled because they had no way to heat food or boil water. A small propane or butane stove can change everything. They're compact, affordable, and powerful enough to boil water in minutes. Pair them with extra fuel canisters. FEMA suggests keeping enough for at least several days of cooking. If you want long-term resilience, consider a multi-fuel stove or even a solar cooker, which can be a game changer when fuel is scarce. Mess kits, lightweight pots, pans, and utensils are just as important. If you think your regular kitchenware will be enough, remember this: emergencies often mean limited cleaning water. Camping cookware is designed to be cleaned with minimal effort and reused quickly. Some kits even nest together to save space so you can keep them right with your stove and fuel. There's also the emotional factor. Eating a warm meal in the middle of a blackout isn't just about calories, it's about morale. Psychologists have long noted that warm food can improve mood and reduce stress. In a crisis, something as simple as a hot bowl of soup can give you a mental boost to keep going. Don't forget safety. Any fuel-based cooking should be done with ventilation to avoid carbon monoxide buildup. Have a battery-operated CO detector in your emergency supplies if you'll be cooking indoors, and always store fuel away from heat sources. The smartest preppers test their gear before they need it. That means actually using your stove, making a few meals, and checking that your fuel and utensils are in good condition. Waiting until the grid is down to figure out how your gear works is a recipe for frustration, or worse, failure. When the next outage hits, you want to be the one calmly boiling water while your neighbors are staring into dark kitchens, wondering what to do next. With portable cooking basics ready, you're not just feeding yourself, you're feeding your resilience. Because in survival, hot food isn't a luxury. It's a weapon against fatigue, fear, and the feeling that the situation is slipping out of your control. You've just seen the 9 critical items FEMA says you must have at home right now. And here's the truth. Most people will hear this and do nothing. Then, when the shelves are empty and the trucks stop rolling, they'll remember this moment and wish they had acted. But you're different. You now have the list. You know what to get. And every single day you wait, the prices climb higher and the supply gets thinner. We've seen it happen before, and it will happen again. So start small, but start now. Build your stash one item at a time. Because when the power goes out, when the water stops running, and when your neighbor knocks on your door asking for food, you'll be the one who's ready. If this video gave you even one useful idea, hit that like button. It tells me to make more survival guides just like this. Subscribe so you don't miss the next urgent update, and drop a comment with the very first item you're going to grab after this video. Preparedness isn't panic, it's peace of mind. And right now, that peace starts with you.